Welcome to Redtastic. Story 1. I'm 31 female, single with no kids, and I've always been focused on my career. I work at a company in a great position, and I've been dedicated to building my career out of my own choice. Now let's talk about my sister, 28 female. We have a complicated history that includes some significant betrayals. Around 3 years ago, I was dating someone. It was an on and off situation, but we had known each other for a whole year then. Anyways, when we were on our break at one point, my sister did something that absolutely broke me. She went around my back to get with that guy, knowing full well that we still had something going on, even if we were on a break. It was even worse when I found out later that she got knocked up by him. I cut him out of my life after that, but I eventually came around to forgiving my sister, and we tried to rebuild our relationship. It hasn't been the best, but it hasn't been the worst either. Fast forward to recent months, my sister, who is now navigating life as a single mom, approached me with an odd request. She told me how she had signed up for a work project that required travel and now needed someone to take care of a child for a week. I hesitated at first, knowing the demands of my full-time job, but ultimately agreed to help her out. I was dedicated to building our relationship, and this could really help. And after all, she assured me it would only be for a week. However, things quickly took a turn for the worst. Just as the week was ending, my sister dropped the bombshell that her work project has been extended and she needed me to continue taking care of her child for an additional month. I was already overwhelmed, and this would royally fork my next few weeks up since I had practically no preparation for it whatsoever. But I had no choice and reluctantly agreed. As the weeks went by, I found myself struggling to balance the demands of taking care of a child and maintaining all the responsibilities at my work. It was an exhausting act that was taking a toll on my mental and physical well-being. My sister kept saying she would be back soon, but feeling frustrated and desperate for answers, I decided to reach out to someone I knew from my sister's workplace that I had met once. I knew my sister wasn't as forthcoming as she should have been, and I had to confirm for sure how long this would really take, so at least I could prepare. Another bombshell revelation dropped then. I discovered that my sister no longer worked there. It turns out she had quit her job right around the time she asked me to take care of her kid. This was just shocking, but I was more concerned than angry. I immediately called her up and demanded an explanation. After a whole lot of back and forth, she finally confessed and revealed to me that she had left the country to be with the man she had been dating online. At first, I was concerned for her safety. After she detailed to me how she's happy in the relationship right now and wants to see where it's going, my concerns dissipated. Words cannot describe how furious I got at that point then. Not only had she lied to me about the work trip and tricked me into taking care of a child so she could pursue a new relationship, but she had left her daughter back here, someone who really needs her mom to be there for her. I had gone above and beyond to support my sister, only to discover that she had manipulated me for her own personal gain. I confronted my sister by telling her all of this and asking her to come back immediately. My sister's response to that shocked me. She was furious with me and defended her actions, claiming that she deserved to have a life apart from her child and pursue her happiness as well, which is insane to me. Because how can you pursue your happiness after abandoning your own child? She accused me of overreacting and that she will be back once she sees this relationship through. Finally, I threatened to call CPS to force her to come back or at least understand the gravity of her actions. Now she's blowing up my phone saying all the worst things you could imagine, basically painting me as a villain in her tragic life, which it's really not. Am I the a-hole? Update. I want to express my gratitude for all the responses I have received, though I would let you all know, I eventually did call CPS since my sister had literally abandoned her child, and there had to be some legal documentation for this. Apparently, she had also called several family members and told them how I'm scheming to ruin her life and steal her child. But I have to do what's right and best for her daughter despite my sister's actions. I will be working with social workers and figuring out a plan on what to do. Maybe I fundamentally changed my life in order to take on this responsibility. Or somehow she remains in the family. We will see. You're not the a-hole, OP. Your sister didn't only lie to you, but she also essentially abandoned her child with you for her new shining relationship. The fact that her plan was to comfort the kid after she sees the relationship through just proves what kind of mother she is. Calling CPS was the right thing to do. Maybe now she'll take her child more seriously so you can get back to your job and life. Story 2. I, 21 female, have a sister, 27 female, who is married to my brother-in-law, 28 male, and they have been married since 2015. And they have a child, female 7, together. In September, my sister got a call and a text from a girl, Sarah, not a real name, letting her know that my brother-in-law has been cheating on my sister with her friend. Sarah sent my sister screenshots of her friend and my brother-in-law's conversation. My sister noticed that in the conversation there was information only my brother-in-law would know about. My sister furiously called my brother-in-law many times while he was at work, telling him he needed to get home right now and that it couldn't wait. While my brother-in-law was on the way home, my sister was packing up clothes and other necessities for her and my niece in her car. When my brother-in-law got home, my sister and my niece were in the car, and when he came to see what was wrong, she showed him the text messages and screenshots. He tried using excuses that isn't my profile, and that was months ago. She instantly knew he was lying and asked him how someone else could know that very private information. He had absolutely no words, and my sister then drove off to my parents' house. When my sister got to my parents' house, she told us what happened, and I felt so bad and upset that I started bawling my eyes out. I felt so bad for my sister and my niece. They didn't deserve this. No one does. Fast forward, my niece decided to go home because my niece wanted to sleep in her own bed and had school the next day. I'm not sure exactly what happened the next few days after that, considering I wasn't there. But my sister decided to stay with my brother-in-law. On Black Friday, my sister and dad came to my work to see how I was doing. I had a long shift that day and told them I was doing okay. I also informed my sister that I didn't want to be included in any events that included my brother-in-law, and I haven't been to their house since. I'm not sure how she took it exactly or if she told him, but I had to do what was best for me and what I was comfortable with after everything that happened. Update. It is December and my sister and brother-in-law are still together. My sister started going to the gym with him. She had no desire to go to the gym before this whole situation, and she has basically changed her whole schedule to fit it around him so she can keep an eye on him pretty much everywhere he goes. My mom and I both agree that no one should ever have to change their life to make sure their partner is being loyal and faithful to them. Am I the a-hole for refusing to go to any events my brother-in-law is at? OP, this is your sister's marriage. As much as you care about her and want the best for her, you should also respect her decisions. You should maintain a civil relationship with your brother-in-law for her sake. You're allowed to advise her, encourage her and support her, but overall, her staying or leaving her marriage is all up to her. Continue to be by her and wish her the best. Hopefully one of these days she realizes she deserves much better than a cheating partner. Now for some comments. Not the a-hole, but I do think you should reconsider your position. Your sister made a choice that you don't support. But your choice is just going to create distance between you and her, which may make it harder for her to come to you if she ever does want to leave him. It will also impact your ability to have a relationship with your niece. Not the a-hole. If he makes you uncomfortable, if it's because you're mad at him and angry and hurt by what he did to your sister, it may be that you could better support her by not giving her ultimatums, which is kind of what you did. I'm not saying go to their house, but if there's a holiday get-together with your parents and he'll be there, you don't want to miss the time with your family for that. You can be chillingly cordial to him, but still be at the same event. Soft, you're the a-hole. Very soft, but still, your sister is in a very difficult place. I don't disagree with your appraisal of her husband, and I think you're right that continuing the marriage is proving to have an unhealthy impact on her life. I also know that parenthood changes your calculus and makes it harder for people to see the value in prioritizing their own needs, even as their situations continue to decline. That lack of priority is only intensified by isolation from family and friends. And by setting this condition on your presence, you are greatly reducing the amount of time you can spend with her. She needs support to arrive at what is obviously a very scary conclusion for her to reach. You are in a unique position to help her love herself enough to do what's right. But tough love isn't going to have that effect. Story 3. Obligatory throwaway to separate from my main disclaimer. Also, since I think it's the done thing in this sub, I'm 25 male, my sister is 27 female, brother-in-law is 29 male. I'm honestly really conflicted on this, and I really don't know what to do here. To be frank, I hate my brother-in-law. He and I have never gotten along because we have different and clashing personalities and values. But for the most part, I found him tolerable up until last year. What pushed me into hating him was a really cruel prank he played on me. Basically, in 2015, myself and my then boyfriend experienced an incredibly traumatic home invasion, which left me with psychological damage I'm still recovering from today. My brother-in-law is fully aware of this and knows exactly what happened. In summer 2019, however, he got a new phone with a new number and decided to prank me by texting me from the new number, pretending to be a stranger who had broken into my flat while I was at work. He really went into detail, describing particular things I own and specifics of the layout of the flat. So it really sounded legit, even though I wasn't in my flat at the time. The idea of another home invasion caused me to have a panic attack, which led to an asthma attack, bad enough that I was hospitalized. After he revealed he had sent the text as a joke, I made the choice to have nothing to do with him anymore. I will be civil to him for the sake of my sister and my nibblings, but outside of that, he and I do not contact one another, and I don't want any part of his life. So the issue. My brother-in-law's birthday is Boxing Day. Where I'm at in the UK, we're still allowed up to 3 households as a bubble on Christmas Day, which was going to be myself, my parents, and my sister's lot. However, it was revealed to me a few hours ago that it is intended to be a combination Christmas and birthday celebration for my brother-in-law. I don't want to go to his birthday party. I don't want any part in anything that even remotely celebrates him. Considering I literally could have died from the asthma attack he caused, and he's never even attempted to apologize. I've informed my parents as much and told them I won't be going if it's a day to celebrate him too. Now I'm being berated by my sister for ruining Christmas because I can't take a joke. And apparently, the idea of me not going has made my mum cry. I want to be steadfast in my decision, but I feel a bit bad. Am I the a-hole if I don't go? Now for some comments. Not the a-hole. Your sister and brother-in-law seriously lack some sense. Or they just don't care about anyone but them, but what he did was extremely inappropriate. And they being unable to see it is worrying. Also, they're wrong, not you. You have the right to decide whether you want to spend time with him or not. Not the a-hole. If your family knows what he did to you and how it made you feel, they should back you up. Let him know he effed up, and at least it shouldn't be frowned upon or cried about if you don't want to attend his birthday party. If your mom can cry about this, where is she when you're being treated like dog shit? And I would love to see your sister take a joke. I would feel differently if you made a genuine attempt to apologize and admit that the prank was monumentally stupid. You're not the a-hole for despising your brother-in-law and for not wanting to go celebrate him. However, you should still go. Go and see your family. You never know when the next time will be that you can gather with family. Don't let your brother-in-law's despicable actions ruin your Christmas. You should go and ignore him the entire time and do not give him a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. When the family is singing happy birthday and cutting a cake for your brother-in-law, make sure to make it a point to leave the room. You're there to celebrate Christmas, not this degenerate's birthday. This will really drive your point home. In regards to your sister, if she says anything to you about why you're not being nice to your brother-in-law and why you can't just take a joke, remind her that it's only a joke if everyone is laughing and no one gets hospitalized.